This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy Wednesday, the Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, Major Mortgage Man Cave, and Santa sitting in with us again today. He will be for the next, through Christmas probably. Get your Christmas wish in. You know what? Let's do that. For the rest of the month, email Jason at Jason Walker Show. Tweet us, Facebook us. What are your Christmas sports wishes for the next month? We'll get some of those read on the air. So get that started now. Big show today coming up. We are going to check in with Greg Rachac from the Billings Gazette, 406mtsports.com, and talk about Pioneer League Baseball. How much has changed? How much is similar? What does it all mean in the grand scheme of things now that the Pioneer League is no longer affiliated with Major League Baseball, except as a partner independent league? Greg will explain. Haven Meged will join us, the world tie-down champion from Arlington, Texas, getting ready for the National Finals Rodeo, which starts tomorrow night at the home of the Texas Rangers, Globe Life Park or Field, whatever it's called. And I haven't figured out, I still got to figure out how to watch it. I know it's on Cowboy Channel, but we got to figure out how to watch it if you don't have cable. So we got to work on that. But it starts tomorrow. But we'll talk to Haven Meged, get his thoughts on this summer and his chances to repeat. You know, he was a rookie last year when he went down to Vegas and won both the average and the world title. And he sits about $100,000 behind Shad Mayfield going into the finals. But a lot of money up for grabs every year and every night in Vegas for 10 nights. So he can make that up, and we'll talk to Haven about that coming up here in a little bit. Also on this day in history and much more. So fun stuff. Let's get started. Today's COVID update, your Montana COVID update. And again, we just give you the numbers. We don't say anything other than numbers. We have a story of a Texas waitress we're going to talk about later on in the show. 937 new cases today, 64,340 overall, 713 deaths, 478 currently in the hospital, 16,094 active COVID cases, and 47,533 have recovered. 4,700 Yellowstone County, 2,200 plus Cascade, over 1,450 in Lewis and Clark, 1,278 Missoula, 2,000 on the nose in Flathead. Gallen County down to 539. 543 over in Ravalli. 312 still in Richland County, rather, not Roosevelt, which has seen massive cases since the fall. And Silver Bow, still 671 active cases. So that is our COVID update for the state of Montana as far as the numbers. Now, here is what is going on sports-wise with the COVID. No basketball for the Montana women. Late last night, head coach Mike Petrino found out that Southern Utah had a case of COVID and will not be coming to Missoula for Thursday or Saturday games. So the Big Sky Conference opener for the Lady Grizz is canceled, and it appears that they're not going to reschedule these games. Big Sky Conference has said that Postponed league games will not be made up as of right now. Now, Coach Petrino wanted to play because it was one of two probably of some of the wins that the Lady Grizz were going to get this year. They're still not going to be, I mean, we're not talking 19-1 here, but we're also not talking 0-20. I mean, the Lady Grizz are going to win some games. Two of them probably against Southern Utah. But that's not going to happen now. So these games, I think, count as no contests. They're hoping to have some rescheduling, but doesn't look like it. The Lady Grizz still scheduled to play North Dakota in a non-league game next Monday, this coming Monday, so 5 days. Two players still have to sit out from injuries, and their teammates from Sentinel, Kylie Froelich and Shelby Schwain. And Jordan Schwain's coming back. But it's a bummer because those Schwain girls are so athletic, but they've never stayed healthy. High school, college, they've just never stayed healthy, and it's a bummer because they are hell of athletes. So no Lady Grizz basketball this week. The Bobcat men are on the road right now playing at Pacific as we speak, and we'll get you an updated score at some point on that. It was 21-18 Pacific last I saw, but that's the men of Montana State. Frontier Conference starting this weekend, except at Tech and Carroll, where they were scheduled to play each other. Tech's got cases, Carroll's got cases, and so no games. Get used to this all season long. You can get used to it on the high school front. You can get used to it on the college front. We're just not going to have a full, complete schedule, unfortunately. I think I saw that 20 Big Sky games have already been canceled. Or games involving Big Sky teams. Update from Pacific. With Stockton, California, where the Tigers lead the Bobcats 38-34, 16 minutes to play. Cats coming off a big win last week, or 2 weeks ago over at UNLV. So that was a good win. Speaking of Big Sky, Tom Wissersill, the commissioner, has received a 2-year contract extension. And it's funny because in the press release, it says literally the same thing that every press release says about anybody. During his tenure, unprecedented heights in student-athlete programming and advocacy. I mean, it's unprecedented heights. Everything is unprecedented heights. I mean, he's done a nice job, but, I mean, congrats. You got a 2-year extension. And he's not leaving like the last commissioner did after a couple of years. So, Tom Wissersill, congratulations on his contract extension. So, we talked a little bit yesterday about the Pioneer League and how are they going to make it? Greg Rachac will join us when we come back and will tell us exactly how that is going to happen or how long it potentially could happen. Shortly, he'll join us here in about 5 minutes or so. But it's going to be interesting in the Pioneer League. There's no question about that. No doubt, for sure. One more quick story before we go talk to Greg about baseball. I saw this yesterday. Speaking of Yellowstone County, no joint high school sports stadium for the Metro and Yellowstone County public schools for Billings. Greg Upham, superintendent of Billings Public Schools, said that will not happen. The school district wanted to get together with the Metro and basically have grandstands, put a new football stadium down there, probably soccer as well. But that's not going to happen now. The Metro said, yep, no thanks. So Dela Stadium, which needs some work, about $10 million worth, and potentially getting moved anyway because it looks like they want to expand senior high, which is where Dallas is near downtown. And it's old. I mean, it's an old stadium. They've done a nice job with turf and tried to, spruce it up. But so it will not be at the new stadium. Will not be at the Metro, however. So that's interesting. That's aside from, well, Helena's got the worst facilities for AA football. No, hands down, no question about it. The worst facilities. I mean, it's not even close. Vigilante needs to be just torn down and rebuilt, or better yet, just a new stadium somewhere else with better parking. It's terrible at the middle school. But Billings and Dallas, not much better. Parking there is about as bad as it is in Helena as far as football stadiums. So something to keep an eye on as they move forward. The next couple of, Great Falls got refurbished at Memorial, new turf, new track. It's awesome. Legend Stadium in Kalispell is nice. Missoula Public County is nice. Butte, Naranchi, come on, seriously? How awesome is that? Bozeman's new stadium with Gallatin. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think so, in the AA. But Helena needs some work bad. But nobody wants to spend money to help that facility out. So that's why you lost the track meet. I mean, track got canceled anyway last spring, but state track was supposed to be in Helena, and then they said, yeah, no, your track is terrible. And it is. It's horrendous. And the football field is no better. So need some work at Vigilante and at Dallas. Too bad they're not closer where they could combine. I mean, Lockwood's got a new facility. And East Helena, beautiful new facilities. We'll see where I send my kid when she grows up, if we still live here. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, we're going to talk baseball. Pioneer League baseball is returning. That's the plan. Greg Rachac from 406mtsports.com will explain how it's going to work with Major League Baseball and the partner league with the Pioneer League. When we return here, Jason Walker Show is presented by Capital Collision Center. And when you get in a vehicle wreck, you want to take your vehicle straight to Capital Collision Center. They're going to take care of everything. They're going to handle insurance. They're going to take all the pictures. They're going to do all the paperwork. They're going to literally do it all, take it out of your hands, and then they'll text you and call you throughout the process. And then when your vehicle's done, they'll say, come and get it. And it looks just like it came off the lot. It is unbelievable. Highly recommend Capital Collision Center. Obviously, that's why I'm talking about them. But the customer service is unparalleled. Nobody can match what Capital Collision Center does with your vehicle and you as well. So go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid. Montana state law says it is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center in Helena. Coming right back with Greg Rachac next, Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010.
The old man here is his proper due. There we go. There we go. Okay, Santa Claus in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. All right, coming up, Haven Meged will join us, the world tie-down champion in national finals, a rookie last year. And it was a different summer for many in the rodeo industry. And Haven, no different. We'll talk to him about that and what it took to qualify for his second consecutive national finals. He's back with a chance to defend that title. And we'll talk to Haven Meged coming up here in about 20 minutes. But joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the award-winning sports writer from the Billings Gazette, 406mtsports.com, Greg Rachac. And he's, I wanted to get him on to try to decipher exactly what the news came out Monday about the Pioneer League partnering up as an independent with Major League Baseball. And Greg joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline.
Sounds good.
First off, how you doing, man? It's been a long time since we chatted, and we didn't have a whole lot to chat about with no Big Sky football and no baseball and nothing going on this summer. So how's your fall been?
Well, I guess I'm happy that they were able to get the high school season in at least.
Right.
For the most part, they were able to crown champions and have state events and things like that, and which obviously was great for the kids. And I guess it didn't come without some of bumps in the road, but just glad they were able to get it done. And I would say the summer was a lot more uncertain than the fall was. Like you said, there just weren't any events happening in the summer, and so being able to get some games and some competition in the fall was a good thing. I did miss the Big Sky football season, obviously, and so we'll see what happens. I mean, that this spring season, that could be a conversation for another day, and whether that's going to happen or not. But
right,
it's hopefully we'll get one of these days we'll get back to the way things were. So
we can hope.
Right.
Greg Rachac joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Yeah, it's been fun, and I don't know if we're even going to get a high school winter sports season in, but hopefully we can, because it's a little bit more contact in wrestling than there is in volleyball. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so.
Right.
Hey, speaking of the summer with nothing going on, that included the Pioneer League. And you and I chatted back in April, I believe, about this. And I had Senator Daines on a couple of times to talk about it. The PBA expired September 30th. The Pioneer League went away as we knew it, but yet it's still going to be around as we know it a little bit. So your article that came out the other day on 406mtsports.com did a good job trying to explain it, but I couldn't decipher it, but you explain exactly where we're at right now with the Pioneer League and Major League Baseball, because it's like I said, it's like nothing changed, but everything changed.
Yeah. There's so much to it, and it's very complicated. And even now after the announcement, I don't think anybody truly knows what it means yet. But I guess the bottom line is that the Pioneer League will live on, and it will remain a professional baseball league. The difference is that it'll be an independent league, meaning the teams in the Pioneer League will no longer have their player development contracts with major league parent organizations. For example, Billings will no longer be affiliated with Cincinnati, Missoula no longer with Arizona, Great Falls no longer with the White Sox, and so on. But it will be a partner league with Major League Baseball, which is a new venture. As of now, it's one of 4 partner leagues. There's 4 independent leagues that are going to be partner leagues of Major League Baseball, which essentially means, the teams are going to be made up of basically professional players that are not deemed ready to join affiliated Major League organizations. Like players that weren't drafted, or players that had been released from, they previously had been under contract with Major League Baseball, but have since been released due to injury or poor performance or whatever. And then there's also the avenue that, because Major League Baseball is expected to cap their organizational rosters at 180 players. In the past, it was something like 300.
Okay.
And so there's going to be like 120 fewer players per organization. And so the players that don't make the 180 will be available to sign and play, in these partner leagues. And so that's kind of where the players are probably going to come from. And so, it's still going to be professional baseball. It just isn't going to have that connection, that direct, pipeline to major league organizations.
Right.
And so I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Some of the other differences are, like the Pioneer League owners, of course, are now going to be responsible for paying these players instead of the major league clubs. They're going to have to find them. They're going to have to, take care of them. They're going to have to pay for all the travel associated with, playing in these leagues. And that's kind of where it stands, I guess.
Greg, are these teams now essentially like the St. Paul Saints have been forever, just an independent team that can get major league players on the roster and then, eventually have Major League Baseball teams come in and sign you away?
Yes. Yeah. That's
that was the best analogy I could come up with yesterday was the St. Paul Saints, because everybody knows about them.
Yeah. Yeah. The St. Paul franchise is obviously one of the more well-known independent clubs. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. I think, you're going to have a roster of independent players who are trying to get back into affiliated professional baseball, meaning they'll be under contract with a professional organization. And so that's what these teams are going to be made up of.
You mentioned the Pioneer League owners now going to have to pay everything, but it said in your in the press release and in your article that so Major League Baseball is going to help out for a year? And I mean, how is that work out where baseball is going to, supply scouting technology and all of this, but at the end of the day, it still falls back on the Pioneer League.
Yeah. So Major League Baseball has said that they're going to provide some initial funding to help get these partner leagues like the Pioneer League off the ground. At first I heard it was going to be significant money, and then later I heard that it wasn't going to be significant. And so I still don't know if anybody really knows how much, financial backing the Pioneer League is going to have from Major League Baseball. And as far as the, some of the technology that's going to be installed at these ballparks, that's going to be for scouting purposes. Major League Baseball is going to obviously want to keep an eye on these prospects. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to put in all the latest, technology to be able to scout these players and get all the best data so they can, know what's going on and not necessarily only have to rely on, scouts that are in person at the ballpark.
Gotcha. So everything changed, but nothing has changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg Rachac, our guest here, Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And it's really confusing. And like you've been saying, how much did Montana's congressional delegation led by Senator Daines and Tester and then Gianforte have to be able to keep, because they pushed hard for the last really 2 years. Yeah. And it seems like that delegation really helped secure the Pioneer League, especially in Montana, but it helps out the 5 other, cities and 3 other states as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think when Major League Baseball first started formulating this plan, I think that their idea was to just contract the minor leagues and, you'd have 120 teams, and the teams that didn't make the 120 were, sorry, that's you're done. But I think the political pressure that was put on, and really not just in Montana. It went, all over the country and various states that have, that have had professional baseball, minor league baseball. A lot of these politicians put significant pressure on the major leagues and ultimately led to this idea of partner leagues being established where you could, these communities could preserve baseball that has been so long standing, and they wouldn't necessarily be officially connected to major league clubs, but they would still be able to have teams and have some kind of a pipeline between the majors and the minor leagues. And so, I think that's, can't be understated that the political pressure certainly helped preserve organized baseball in these communities in rural towns and other places around the country.
Greg, I'm not a finance expert, and I don't claim to know good stuff about my finances, let alone these guys that own the Pioneer League teams in the 8 cities. How were they financially going to be able to make this work? Because they've never had to pay full-time baseball salaries. They've never had to do this. They haven't had to pay for a lot of the upgrades themselves in most of the cases, for the stadiums or whatnot. Uniforms, team. We saw the Osprey just go through a complete rebranding last year that didn't even get to happen, I guess, this year, the Paddleheads. But, there's so many different things that I don't think the average fan is going to think about. But those are like Dave Heller in Billings. How does he pay for everything now? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he even knows yet. That's one thing that he said, is that this is going to be by far the biggest challenge. And I think the owners are just trying to figure that out. And I think some of that is going to fall on how much financial backing Major League Baseball will be willing to provide, to these partner leagues and to the Pioneer League. And, that was one question I asked was, what does the average independent player make? And, one owner told me, well, I think that, and this might not be a great sign, but he said to me, well, I think it probably depends on what the minimum wage laws are in each state. And so, I don't think these guys make very much money. I think it's, mostly represents an opportunity for them to try to work their way back into, onto a major league roster or into a major league organization. And I think the question of how all of this is going to be paid for is still looming over this entire venture.
Well, I mean, we know that when the Pioneer League was associated with Major League Baseball teams, it's not like they were still making bank. I mean, you had your one or two high-priced guys in the league every year, but you never. I mean, these guys are making $1,100 a month or whatever,
right?
Which doesn't cover. And we saw this with when COVID first hit, was the major leagues paying the minor league organizations and the players for $400 a month. Well, they've got to live. I mean, man, I just don't understand how this is going to, and it almost, and I don't want to be completely negative, because it's great that we get to play baseball and have baseball in our communities, but how often or how much of this was really Major League Baseball hoping that, okay, we'll say we're going to partner for a year or two and then hope these things fold and we don't have to deal with it then.
And I think that's the fear that some of these owners have. I mean, obviously they're putting a very positive spin on it, because they want this to work and they want it to survive. But the long-term sustainability is definitely the question. And you're right. Every year in the Pioneer League, you'd have each team would have one or two guys that was a high draft pick and had a big signing bonus and things like that. But most of these players weren't making very much money. And I think a lot of the Major League Baseball's goal here was, these organizations were no longer willing to pay for the third string catcher who has virtually no chance to make the major leagues, and there's just no return on that investment, anymore. And so they wanted to, kind of weed out the riffraff, for lack of a better phrase, and try to improve the quality of play in the minor leagues and sort of streamline it that way. And now obviously it's up to these partner leagues themselves and the teams themselves in the Pioneer League to not only pay the salaries or the wages, but to also feed them, get them from town to town, put them up in hotels throughout the season. And so, I think that's the concern as far as, the viability and the sustainability when it comes to the financial aspect of this.
I saw that they're looking to cap the roster probably at 24 at the age. Because when I brought up St. Paul, those guys, I mean, I think Ricky Henderson played there in his 30s or 40s, but but these are essentially the same type of players that we've been seeing over the last 70 or 80 years in the Pioneer League, and it's just but it's just different again, the way it's all supposed to come work out. When will they have any finality as to far as monies and plans for the future for 2021 even?
Yeah, well, I would, I guess in the next couple months. I mean, the first pitch is supposed to be thrown in the middle of May, and so that we're just 6 months away from that. And so there's very little time. You're basically starting a league from scratch,
right?
And there's very little time to put it all together. And so we're going to find out, sooner rather than later how all this is going to work. But as far as the age cap, and I think they're going to do that to try to make sure that it is, largely the same kind of baseball that we've seen through the years. And another big piece of this is that the draft is, it used to be 40 rounds, the Major League Baseball draft. Now it's expected to be only 20. And so there's going to be a big pool of guys that, go undrafted that are going to be available to sign and to add to your roster. And a lot of those players were the same types of players, the same skill level that these teams had in the past. So the hope is for the on-field product to be very much the same as it always has been. But as you said, there's just very little time to put it all together, and we still don't know what it's all going to exactly look like.
So Billings, Great Falls, Missoula are in, just focused here in Montana, but the other Pioneer League teams are losing their groundskeepers. A lot of these places have the same Legion field as well, and a lot of baseball being played on these fields. That's an extra expense that's going to have to be out there now. Uniform changes, I am guessing, because you just, there's not many that still go by, the Voyagers changed their name a few years ago, or a while ago now, but things like that. And then, I wonder, how long is this? So you said it starts in May. That's a month earlier. So is it a longer season, shorter season? 70?
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be 92 games now.
Okay, so extra 16 or 14 games, I guess.
Well, it was 76 before.
Okay,
so yeah, that's 16, right?
I think so. I haven't been able to do stats. There hasn't been any sports going on.
Right.
That's how I do math.
Right. So yeah. Groundskeeper, they're going to have to hire grounds crew. Dave Heller, the Mustangs owner, said that he expects, the front office staff is going to have to be a lot bigger than before. They used to only have like 3 guys, the GM, and then maybe 2 assistant GMs in the front office. And so that's going to grow. You're going to have to, pay your employees.
Right.
You got to go out and find manager, assistant coaches, trainers, clubhouse staff. The financial responsibility is drastically changing. And as we said before, I think a lot of these owners are still, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to do this, which obviously underscores the need for Major League Baseball to provide that, funding to help keep this thing afloat.
Well, I just worry that they're only going to fund it for a year or two, and then when that's done, and Major League Baseball is going, yeah, we helped you out, you couldn't sustain on your own, sorry.
And I think that's also a fear that some people have, is that, it looks good right now, but Major League Baseball's ultimate motive is to, not really be too invested in these partner leagues, and eventually they're just going to go by the wayside.
Well, if that's the case, they would have kept them as affiliations.
Yeah. There's a lot that you just kind of scratch your head,
right.
You don't really know, what's driving these decisions, and a lot of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And, but I guess you just have to be glad right now that professional baseball is gonna be played in Montana and in the Pioneer League for now, and we'll just have to see how it all works out.
Well, we'll be following you. I'll have you on. Hopefully, we can talk some winter sports, and but yeah, you'll be on and keep us up. You're my baseball guy now in the state of Montana. Who thought of that? Congratulations on your nomination for National Sportscaster or Sports Writer in Montana again. So what have you won, like 12 times?
No. No.
7, 8? I think it's up there.
Not that, no. Yeah, it's like 5.
Okay. Wow. But congratulations on your nomination again.
Well, thanks, Jason. I appreciate that.
I haven't decided who I'm voting for, because I've got you, and I've got, Jordy up in Missoula that does such a great job. You got Colton down in Bozeman that does a great job. I mean, there's some great writers in the state, so I don't know who I'm going to.
And really, if you go to anybody, and everyone's deserving, and honestly, just happy to be mentioned in the group, and I'm just glad that sports journalism in Montana is alive and well, and really, especially on the print side, we're a lot of people doing a lot of great work, and especially in 2020 when you never knew what each day was going to bring. And so really proud of everybody the way they've done their job this year.
Yeah, well, 406mtsports.com. You guys have done a fantastic job for years, so we appreciate your work.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you joining us, man, and happy holidays if we don't talk before then, but we'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Take care.
Greg Rachac joining us from the Billings Gazette, 406mtsports.com. So there you go. That's the Pioneer League in a nutshell of what it's going to be in the future, and hopefully it can be something that's sustained and not just a 1 or 2 year flash in the pan. Hey, Major League Baseball, here's your help, Pioneer League, but then now you're done. I just think MLB is setting Pioneer League's cities up for failure, and hopefully not, because we need it. We love the Pioneer League baseball in the summer. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and when we do, we'll check in with world champion tie-down roper Haven Meged. Joins us next from he's not. Well, he's going to join us next, but not in Las Vegas. What's his thoughts about moving from Vegas to Texas this year? He'll tell us next here on the Jason Walker Show. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Jason Walker here, and I want to tell you about a great place that's going to make you feel better in just an hour. Ocean Spirit Massage. From deep tissue to hot stone and more, Ocean Spirit Massage will get your sore, tired muscles feeling like new. Whether you overdid it working out, hiking the hills, playing golf, whatever it is, or even if you're pregnant, you will walk away feeling better than you have in years. Book now for yourself or make it a couples massage. And gift certificates are always available as well. Visit oceanspiritmassage.com or call 417-0542. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Jason Walker Show, back Major Mortgage Man Cave. We are presented by Capital Collision Center. This segment is brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. And Mark's got his calendars. Just dropped off yesterday, dropped off mine. And they're awesome. I showed you some of them online, but check this out. Look how big this thing is. This is it's worth $25 for sure. Look at this. It's huge. And the pictures, I mean, awesome, right? Just fantastic. And that's just one. And it's a huge calendar. I love it. get to marklaroephotography.com. You can get the Scenic Montana one or Cowboys of Western Montana. Okay? And while you're there, not only get a calendar, great Christmas gifts. Purchase a photo. Buy a canvas. Help Mark out. He takes such great photos. Go to marklaroephotography.com. His Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery. Unbelievable stuff. And I know you've seen this one behind me. Yeah. The one from Ennis. Northern Rodeo. There we go. There it is. From Ennis this year. So there you go. All right. Appreciate Mark and his support all season or all year long. So, all right. Speaking of rodeo, because that's what we're doing. The world champion is back to defend his title in tie-down. His name is Haven Meged, and he qualified for his second straight Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. How's it different being in Arlington, Texas versus Las Vegas, Nevada? Haven joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Jason Walker Show. Here.
Okay.
Well, first off, man, congratulations for qualifying. I know this was a tough year. How many rodeos did you make?
I think I went to like 60 rodeos this year.
Crazy. Pretty good summer, though? You feel good about it?
Yeah, I had a great summer. I mean, I didn't have a good winter, so if I didn't have a good summer, I wasn't going to make the NFR.
Well, we're glad you did. It's always nice to be back after you win a championship. You want to go back and defend it. We'll talk more about that in a second. But this year was tough, like I said, Haven. And what was your thoughts all summer as you're trucking along trying to get to rodeos and some of them weren't there?
Oh, I mean, I guess driving by rodeos, usually the big rodeos, it felt like we always kept driving by them and stuff. That was a hard deal because it's a lot nicer just to go to some of them bigger rodeos, and I felt like we didn't even get to go to those big rodeos because they were all canceled and we had to go to those little $1,000 rodeos. I felt like you just drove by all them big ones and all you did was drive. I mean, for instance, we drove from Elko, Nevada to Wolf Point, Montana, and drove by probably 5 rodeos that we'd usually go to, and it was just crazy amount of driving we did this summer.
And, of course, the lack of money and the lack of rodeos out there doesn't make traveling that easy.
Yeah, no. I mean, we had one of our other buddies come with us this summer, so we had 3 guys splitting diesel up and stuff because, I mean, driving 20 hours, it felt like every time we got in the pickup, I mean, a 10-hour drive felt short. That's how much driving we had to do every time we got in the truck. Like, 10 hours was just like, oh, that's not bad at all. That's nothing. And it was like the 20-hour drives and 25-hour drives. That's what sucked, and I felt like we had a lot of those all summer.
Haven Meged, our guest here, Jason Walker Show, Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Haven, when you went to some of these smaller rodeos that you probably hadn't been to in a few years, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've never been to a lot of places this summer, and a lot of the people that have rodeos their whole life never even been to these rodeos. So, I mean, I guess in a way it was cool to get to go to other rodeos, but it's the other way it sucked. We did a lot of driving for just very little money. You know, we got there and made it, so I'm just glad they're having an NFR, else that would have sucked because we dang sure spent a lot of money trying to get there.
They did move it from Vegas over to Arlington. You guys got down there, but what's the feel like? Because how different is it from going to Vegas to going to Arlington, Texas?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the first person to be your first year over there at the NFR because there's no feeling like driving out to Vegas and then getting situated and, just being out there because that's where the NFR has always been. And it's just like a dream come true when you ride into that yellow arena. And when we went to Arlington the other day, I felt like we were going to the American. Like, weren't even like, there's no yellow. I mean, there's the yellow chutes and yellow rope and bucking chutes. Rope and chutes are the only thing yellow. I mean, they don't have any yellow banners, nothing. I mean, so it's really different, honestly. Like, it almost doesn't even feel like the NFR, honestly. We ran through grand entry practice this morning and stuff. And everything's so different. Like, all them guys have been there 5, 6, 7 times. They're all saying, heck, we don't even know what to expect and stuff.
Wow.
So it's different. It feels like everybody's rookie year, honestly, at the NFR this year because nobody knows what to expect. There's no like strategies really because everything is new and stuff. Like how a lot of people usually have strategies. So I've been there 5 to 10 times, whatever. They got game plans, and heck, we don't know what to expect because the calf roping shoots are over on the side, and then the team roping shoots are at the other. We're at first base, they're at third base. And
Jeez.
so it's just, and where the cattle go out of the arena is at home plate. So it's a messed up arena, like it's a baseball diamond, so it looks weird as crap. But just hopefully it goes out good. I mean, we're all just ready and ready to rope. Honestly, I'm ready to win some money and put it in my account.
No doubt. Hey, Evan, when you talk about the arena and the setup, so the buck and shoots then are out like center or second base, shortstop, center field area?
Yep.
Okay. So we're trying to get a picture of what this is going to look like. Is it all dirt, or did they bring in, is it still the turf, or what did they bring in actual dirt?
No, they brought actual dirt, and they put a bunch of tarps down over the turf and stuff, and I guess they rolled all the turf up, but then put a bunch of tarps down and went ahead and got a bunch of dirt in there and stuff. I mean, it's an actual arena in there and stuff, but it's just a lot different. I mean, that stadium's huge.
Right.
Thomason Center.
Well, yeah, the fans aren't going to be right on top of you, and when you're backing in there to head out and get going on your calf there, but those fans are on top of you at Thomas and Mack, and now they're a ways away, and it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, even when the announcer announces, like this morning going through practice, grand entry practice, like the announcer just echoes and stuff. Like usually it's Thomas and Mack when the announcer announces, like you can hear with the music and stuff. You can feel it vibrate and stuff. That's a great feeling, and today is just like it's just like the American. Honestly, that's a great rodeo, but it's nothing compared to the NFR in Las Vegas.
Do you like your chances? I know you're trailing. You're in third. Shad had a really nice season and jumped out to a big lead, but we know the money that can be won at the NFR. You like your chances to repeat?
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty much God's plan, honestly, because Shad's got such a big lead and stuff. But I'm just gonna go out there and take care of business and go out there and rope my roping and not let anybody else worry and try to get in my way. Because if I can't win the world again, I dang sure like to win the average again. So I'm just gonna go out there and give it everything I got and try to win another gold buckle. But I mean, it comes down to how Shad ropes and stuff because he's got such a big lead on everybody. But just taking care of business and winning money and trying to win another gold buckle and average buckle.
Hey, how did people treat you this year differently on the tour now that you're a world champ?
Oh, I mean, I'd say you get a lot more respect and stuff around there. They always be around stuff, and people you might not know, and they come up and say, "Hey, champ," and I don't know, it caught me off guard at first and stuff, and then I kind of got used to it, but I don't know. I guess it's awesome to be able to say you're a world champion the first year you rodeoed and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was like a blessing and stuff to get to be around my family and stuff and everybody else because not every day you get to win a gold buckle.
No, that's absolutely true. And I know we chatted after you won, but did your traveling partners treat you any different? They're like, "Hey, you're the world champ. You should, we should take care of you. You don't drive as much," or did they make you drive more?
What's that?
Did they make you drive more because you're the world champ, or did they pamper you on the road?
So I felt like I was driving more, honestly.
Well, that's no fair.
I don't like to drive at all, really. I'll be real honest with you. I just don't love to drive, but I'll drive and stuff. They dang sure everybody had to participate this year because those 20-hour drives, roping, getting back in, driving another 20 hours, that was hard on all of us. So everybody had to take a shift and bear down and drive it.
Well, we're looking forward to following you and your repeat bid starting tomorrow night down there in Texas. And congratulations on making it again and qualifying. And we appreciate your time as always. And hopefully we'll chat soon, my man.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Haven Meged joining us, the world tie-down champion, and man, he's awesome. He's from Miles City, and that southern accent, I just love it because it's like Jesse Davis. Well, I mean, he's from Spanish Fork, Utah, but lives outside Power, Montana, but he sounds southern. Like, southern Utah, I guess, Spanish Fork, but it's just, these guys are awesome. So good. But congrats to Haven. And tomorrow we'll give you the full rundown on all the Montanans that are in and where you can watch and how you can watch the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. It's on Cowboy Channel now and starts tomorrow night down there at Globe Life Field. Oh, I was going to show you the picture of the so let's see if we can. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So timed events there. That was what Haven was talking about down there over by the third base side. So home plate here is where the animals leave the arena. You got your rough stock events, so your chutes right here, and then more timed events over here. I don't know where they're going to run out of for barrel racing. That'll be something to watch. It's going to be something for sure. So that starts tomorrow night. And, of course, we'll cover all 10 nights of the Wrangler National Finals here on the Jason Walker Show. All right. On this day in history, it is December the 2nd. It is National Package Protection Day. And I believe that is to do with, like, Christmas presents and packages not wearing a cup. Fritters Day, Mutt Day, and Special Education Day. 1887, the International Baseball League would disband, and teams in Syracuse, Toronto, Hamilton, and Buffalo become the International Association. Those in Newark, Jersey City, Wilkes-Barre, and Scranton become Central League. 1909, the National Hockey Association formed in Montreal. Original members, Montreal Wanderers and Montreal Canadiens. It would become the NHL after some NHA teams would leave due to ownership disagreements. 1951, Don Hudson had his jersey retired by the Green Bay Packers, the first in the franchise history. 1969, 2 years after doubling size from 6 to 12, the NHL announced two more teams would be joining the league in 1970, the Buffalo Sabres and the Vancouver Canucks. 1987, the 334 Club formed, because 334 New Jersey Devil fans journeyed through 20 inches of snow to attend a Devils win over Calgary at the Meadowlands. 1991, Bobby Bonilla becomes the highest paid player in Major League Baseball, agreeing to a record $29 million 5-year deal with the New York Mets. The Mets are still paying on that contract today. Every July 1st, they pay $1 million. Hopefully the new owner can just pay it off and be done. Let's see, 1995, Montreal Canadian coach Mario Tremblay leaves goaltender Patrick Waugh in the game too long, allowing an embarrassing 9 goals. Waugh demands a trade, gets traded to Colorado Avalanche, and wins the Stanley Cup that season. So that paid off. Happy birthdays today. Monica Seles, 1973. Aaron Rodgers, one of the most overrated athletes, born on this date, 1983. Happy birthday as well, 1960, Rick Savage, the bass player for Def Leppard. It is Nelly Furtado's birthday. I'm Like a Bird, 1978. She was born. On this date in 1981, Britney Spears was born. Let's see, other stuff that happened. 1812, James Madison reelected the president of the United States. 1840, William Henry Harrison elected the 9th president. 1901, King Gillette began selling safety razor blades. And on this date, a year ago, Steve Bullock dropped out of the race for president. Like he ever had a chance. Let's do the walk-off. It is brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, 625 Euclid. Breakfast beignets and so much more. Shrimp etouffee, catfish. Oh, fried catfish. Sounds good for dinner. Thanks for listening on TreasureStateRadio.com. They'll be leaving us here in just a couple of seconds. I hit the wrong button, by the way, so they'll be leaving, but we'll stay on the air for a second as we wrap up. Thanks to Haven Meged for joining us. Don't forget, National Finals Rodeo starts tomorrow. Greg Rachac talking Pioneer League Baseball. If you missed anything, anytime, you go to jasonwalkershow.com. And belated happy birthday to one of my neighbors and a good friend of the show, Chuck Price. Chuck is 51 and a day now. So happy birthday, Chuck. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4. You can always go to jasonwalkershow.com. We'll see you back then.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.